meanwhile, we can move to the next awardee, Savio Wambugu, the Secretary General Association of Countrywide Innovation Hubs, Kenya.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this honor, Ms. Mishna. Just like Mr. Ramanan stated today, some leaders are not flamboyant speakers, and I guarantee you today I'm not a flamboyant speaker, but I'm privileged to be here today. However, I'm overwhelmed with gratitude to have been selected to receive the Global Emerging Leaders Award, and congratulations to my fellow Global Emerging Leaders. I am so honored to have my work recognized in this way by the GCPIT team. It's evident that being a leader is impacting the community or ecosystem without expecting anything back. Many hours went into leading the Association of Countrywide Innovation Hubs, which is mainly a congregation of over 60 different innovation hubs in Kenya, and Mount Kenya Hub, an innovation hub in Kenya. And it means so much that the work that I am so passionate about also resonates with other leaders in the world. This accomplishment is not something that I did alone, and there are many others who deserve to share in this award. I would like to thank all the ecosystem enablers in the Association of Countrywide Innovation Hubs, which cross-cut different sectors and regions in Africa, and the Mount Kenya Hub team who work so hard to make me look good. I am also very thankful to my family, mentors, colleagues, and enablers in Kenya for providing an enabling environment to impact the community and promote international trade and collaboration through innovation. Last but not the least, thank you to GCPIT team, despite the different time zones. I know we had a lot of back and forth in terms of the time zones, for offering me this recognition for the retro work I am dedicated in, which is impacting lives in my ecosystem. I hope that this recognition of my work can serve as an inspiration to others in Africa, no matter the race, the country, or the gender. Remember, if my work can make a difference from the root of Mount Kenya, so can yours. And I will continue with my effort to make the grassroots innovators and communities have equal rights, skills, and opportunities as they innovate to bring positive change in their immediate community by creating innovative solutions that promote international trade for many years to come. And just like what Dr. Igrid today said, this is by creating and shaping the world, by making them solve the solutions themselves. I'm humbled and appreciative. Thank you and good day, good night, depending on which side of the country or the world you're connecting from. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations to you, Savio.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whichever part of the world you are joining us from. Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade, or GCPIT, is proud to welcome you to the special interview series in connection with Global Emerging Leaders Awards 2022. I'm Aparna J. Kumar, the Global Co-Chairperson of GCPIT and your host for the show. Global Council for the Promotion of International Trade is an organization based in India, South Africa, US, UK, and UAE with board and council member representation across the world. We at GCPIT believe in fostering leadership across different levels. Recently, we have been reflecting on the significance of perspective in our role as leaders. When we advance from being an individual contributor to a leader, our perspective starts changing. We gain access to new information, have conversations with new people, and think about things in ways we didn't have to before. These changes or learnings have immense power, and we believe that this interview series will help us and many aspiring future leaders to gain new perspectives, especially global perspectives from these emerging leaders. Today, we have with us such a leader to tell us about his perspectives on leadership while leading his venture. We have with us Mr. Savio Wambugu, who is a software engineer, the founder of Mount Kenya Hub, an innovation hub in Kenya, the Secretary General of Association of Countrywide Innovation Hubs, and a tech consultant with the United Nations. He is passionate about enabling innovators and startups at grassroots level to develop and build sustainable innovations. Congratulations, Mr. Savio, for being nominated for the Emerging Leaders Awards. We are proud to have you with us today. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Kumar.
Thank you so much. And before we begin talking about leadership, I would like to hear from you. How did you start Mount Kenya Hub? And what is your background and what are you currently doing? We know that you are a software engineer. Still, we would like to hear it from you.
Thank you very much, Kumar, and it's a pleasure being here. And thank you for selecting me as one of the nominee. And what I would like to say is, just as you have introduced me professionally, I'm a software engineer. I guess now I'm doing slightly over 10 years in experience. And for me, my story as a software engineer and also as a founder is people tried to refer to me as an accidental engineer because professionally I used to be a professional footballer, and so when I was in the high school, I didn't care about engineering or such things. In fact, I remember one of the instances whereby I went to the head teacher since there was one lesson whereby they required us to either go to the computer lab or go to the library. And for me, I went to the teacher and was telling him that I guess there are some people who are being left out. And those people were the people who are football, who liked games. And so he even added that as another option. We can go to the computer lab, to the library, or to the games. And I'm sure, as for now, you already know where I used to go. I used to go to the field. Um, I grew from a very low or remote place in Kenya. By then, in the early 2000s, it was very hard to get a computer, very hard. I hadn't seen even an Android phone. So for me, technology was nowhere to be found. So, but what happened later is what now had motivated me to become a software engineer. And that was, I broke my leg and I couldn't play again. So I was looking for a course that I could fit in immediately. And for me, um, that course was software engineering. And even starting the Mount Kenya Innovation Hub was not mainly that something that I was looking at. But I remember in my university, I used to be one of the best software engineers then. We used to do a lot of annual computer science competitions, which was inter-university annual computer science competitions. And I remember in most of the categories, in 2 or 3 years continuously, I used to win them. If not top three, I used to be around there. And now there was a very huge misconception because every time we had a lot of students, I was studying in a university whereby there were two different universities, which were all chartered universities. So, which means that there was a lot of students in the same region. And the major challenge was each and every student used to come and say, I know Savio Wambugu. So I have a problem with my, I don't know, system, I don't know, project. But and you already know that as much as I was good in some of the programming languages or some other different fields, I didn't know and I didn't understand each and every field in tech. And so Mount Kenya Hub for a start was mainly a place whereby different students, since it was for students then, could come together from different universities, because we already know that if, for example, one student to go to another different university has a lot of challenges because of bureaucracies and such. So for me, it was mainly a space whereby these students could come together, get to know one another, because I knew there were a lot of students who are also good, just that they were not known. We know most of the engineers are introverts, so it was mainly a place whereby they could come together, brainstorm, learn from one another, and even form partnerships and even learn from one another. And that's how Mount Kenya Hub was born. It was not mainly, actually, it was not even called Mount Kenya Hub. It had another different name. So it was mainly a place that could bring different innovators from the universities by then, and just give them a universal place whereby they could come and interact and even know one another. Yeah.
That's
And even
amazing.
after, yeah, and even after university, by then I remember it's a whole long story in terms of the now transiting from the university to the market, the job market, because by then what we used to learn, for me, I learned, I was born in an era whereby there was a lot of transitions in terms of technology. I did, as much as right now I can develop mobile applications, in my university, I didn't learn such a course. This is because in my last year, that's the first time that I even saw an Android phone. So, which means that even my opportunity to be able to come up with an Android application was zero. So we were in between a transition of technology, a transition of different applications. So yeah, it has been a very good learning curve, and yeah, now we are here.
That's amazing. That's a really great clue, and it will be really inspiring for the future, like aspiring leaders. Not the leg breaking part, but still they have a lot of hope. And if you had to pick 4 or 5 words or short phrases to describe how a successful leader in a global environment operates or behaves, what would they be?
In my opinion, a global emerging leader should be a leader that is not looking to impact only the innovators or even a group that he or she will be benefiting from. It's so long as you're a leader and what you're doing is impacting the anybody, even if it's just one life. I guess for me, that's what you should be looking at, not the amount of money or what you're going to gain from the people that you are impacting. You should be a universal leader who is willing to make impact and just uplift some people who have either challenges or just to open new gates for any other different people in the ecosystem.
And how would you describe the differences in organization and culture between a global environment and a more local or regional environment?
Um, for me, what I would say is, sorry, come again. I didn't get the.
What are the differences in organization culture between a global environment and a local or regional environment?
There's a lot of differences, but due to the internet has really impacted a lot of things. And even in terms of right now we are in the fourth industrial revolution, and it has impacted a lot of things. During the early ages, it was very hard even for local organizations to interact with other international organizations. But now through the internet connectivity, I am from Kenya, and Kenya has around 70% of the Kenyan ecosystem has internet coverage, 3G internet coverage. Over 90% has a 2G coverage, which means that nowadays an organization is not limited to a local or international organization. And this has bridged a lot of gap in terms of culture, in terms of economics, politics, and a lot of many other different things. What I would say is what governs different organizations is mainly the culture one. Then two, I'll talk about the innovation standard that we are in, the level that they are in. So if we talk about other different countries that even internet penetration is low, the kind of innovations that are there are totally different. Right now, Africa is growing very much. It's growing very fast. Reason being, there's a lot of innovators and also global leaders who are willing to impact the community and be able to build a lot of capacity building to make sure that they are building innovations that can be implemented in the next door. So it's not only that we are looking, it's not only for developing solutions that can be implemented internationally, but building innovations and solutions that can or impact in the next community. So for me, the internet has bridged the gap. So there's no difference between a local innovation and international innovation.
Great to know your view. And how is your company's purpose evolving? You have been in the field, as you said, for long years. So how is your company's purpose evolving?
It has evolved a lot. And for me, I call it to be a learning curve. It's a total learning curve. And what I would say is, apart from just being at Mount Kenya Hub, I'm also the Secretary General of the Association of Countrywide Hubs. And let me answer that question in regards to the association. The association is mainly a collaboration of different innovation hubs in Kenya. We have right now around over 60 different innovation hubs. And in Kenya, it's differentiated, it's recognized in terms of counties. We have 47 different counties. These different counties have different specialities. You have a county that is located maybe near the Indian Ocean or mainly near large masses of water that mainly focuses on things like the blue economy. We have, like, for example, my innovation hub, which is located around the Mount Kenya, which is mainly the highlands. We have other different innovation hubs that are located in the arid and semi-arid areas. And all these innovations or innovation hubs have different impacts. They have evolved differently. When we as Mount Kenya Hub were starting, and as I stated, we were looking at students. Yeah, our focus was mainly on students who are looking to just collaborate in terms of their school projects, get to learn from one another. But that has changed. It has evolved. Now we are looking at even simple sections that we have experts on, simple sections that we have built a lot of knowledge base. We are looking, like for example, for us, we are looking at climate technology and smart agriculture, and finally the edutech. So for me, we have evolved a lot just from the students to now having a lot of different cohorts that not only incubating, but we are accelerating. And even as per the kind of cohort that we have been running, we have now developed different programs for after acceleration programs, whereby we are looking at matching you to other different mentors locally and internationally. We are looking at helping and facilitating you to be able to get some other different licenses, whether they are patents, whether they are copyrights. So, but you see, earlier on, we're just looking for students. And also, apart from that, it's even according to the kind of knowledge base that we are building. Earlier on, in terms of even the technology that we were building or that we were looking at, or even the kind of innovations that we were looking at, as I stated, we were not very good conversant with the kind of technology that was there. Let's say the Android technology. Right now, we have people who are doing augmented reality, virtual reality, which means that even us as an innovation hub, we need to keep up with such kind of innovation, such kind of technology, and that's how it should be. Not only for my company or for my organization, but also for even other different organizations, any other different countries. And what we keep saying is, you see, innovations has no display. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. Whether you believe in, let's say, cryptocurrencies or not, it's here with us. So for us, we have really evolved. We have also seen the kind of impact that the COVID-19 has brought, whereby a lot of businesses have now automated their things, have now moved online, have now digitized a lot of things that I have been working on. In fact, for me, I call it, I like to refer it as the fifth industrial revolution, the COVID-19.
Right. And since we are talking about technology, how should companies approach digitization? You are talking about innovation, and there are many companies who have not yet started, right? So what is your say on that?
For me, how I would like to say, and my opinion in regards to that is, one thing is that they need to have an open mind. This is the reason being, you see, digitization and innovation is mainly something that is coming to disrupt the way people operate or people do things. So, and for me, the first thing is they need to have first a lot of capacity building for their employees, because I need to tell Kumar that the kind of technology that we are bringing here is not that it's taking away your job. It's just making sure that you can work efficiently. You don't need to have a lot of repetition of tasks. So one is they need to look at first capacity building for their employees. That is one. And two, they need now to start creating an open culture for people to adopt new technologies. So that what I keep saying for me is, as a software engineer, even if today I build a very good solution that is solving everything, and the people who are supposed to use it are not willing to use it, it is of no use. You'd rather just stop innovating. So they need to build an open-minded mindset in their organization. And apart from that is they need to look at, you should not quantify in terms of cost. You know, sometimes you look at cost and what we have been running. What I know about digitization is the implementation is very expensive. But if now you project that kind of output, maybe for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you'll see the kind of the kind of impact that is going to happen. And finally, for me, what I keep saying is, you should not just buy a solution because it's being offered by somebody, you know. You should digitize the solution because it's a need. It's not because other people are doing it. And yeah.
And what was the most challenging difference in leadership or culture that you had to understand and overcome in a globalized economy?
For me, as at today, it's the COVID-19. I remember during the COVID-19, back in 2020, we were running an innovation challenge. Yeah. And when you had already planned about it, COVID hit, and the whole country was in lockdown. Actually, it's mainly the whole of Eastern and Central Africa was in lockdown. No, people were not supposed to come together. There were no meetings, there were no conferences, there were no in-person. People were not going to offices, and that was a major challenge. And I remember, instead of just letting it slide, we held the annual. We even changed the name to the Great COVID-19 Innovation Challenge, whereby it was mainly an innovation challenge to bring together different people from their houses and try to develop solutions that are impacting or relating to the COVID-19. And it's by this that we were able to build. And I remember, as a software engineer, I built that platform uh, to basically run a virtual innovation challenge. And we were able to do a lot of things in terms of innovation submission, judging, and apart from that, even bringing people from the lowest level of the country to make sure that they're able to participate in the program. But what we are really proud about is that most of the innovations that were selected among maybe the top 15, we even incubated and accelerated the same innovations virtually. And for me, the success factor about that is over 70–80% of the ideas, because there were ideas during the COVID-19, are now businesses that are certified, that have created jobs, and also that are creating direct impact to the community today. So the COVID-19 was was mainly a big challenge in terms of how businesses were working, and not only for us, but also even for government, how they are delivering the same informations. And yeah, for me, that was a major challenge. And uh, how I treated it was just having, just as I said, an open mind, and just accepting the situation as it is, because that is always the hardest part. If you cannot be able to accept the situation that it is, you cannot innovate. So yeah.
So you have such a long experience, and what different perspectives do you bring to the business as a leader?
For me, I guess my leadership is mainly, and I treat it as a story. Yeah. Just like, as I said, when I was in high school, this is what I was doing. You see, and nowadays, and that has been an edge to me, because everything that even the people that I'm leading, or the people that I'm mentoring or even associating with every day, it's not only that I have read about it, it's not only that I have heard about it, it's because I have worked in the same things and the same situation that they are looking at. I have uh, I remember even when I was developing a lot of solutions, I didn't have a very good computer. I didn't have very good internet access. I didn't have um, what can I say? I could not even afford the basic things. So when I'm talking to people, it's things that I have walked through. It's things that I know. I have, when I talk about developing certain solutions, I have done that. And for me, my leadership way is on what I have walked through, what uh, I have mainly, I don't know how I can say it. It's mainly what I've experienced. It's all out of experience. And that is an edge for me. And apart from that, I guess I'm also very good. I'm also very good in analysis. Yeah.
Great. And with this experience, what advice would you give to someone who has taken a senior leadership role to be more impactful in the role you have taken up? They have taken up.
Yeah. For me, it's all about telling the people you are impacting the truth. It's all about, as much as people tell me I don't have feelings, for me, I just say, I just have to tell you the truth. whether it hurts or not, it's the truth. Because if I'm a leader, if you're a leader, you should be able to be, no matter how heartbreaking something should be, you should be open, straight to the point, and yeah, you should just be true to yourself and also true to the people that you are leading. You cannot live in a life for life. So you just, and apart from that, keep reading. If you are not good in reading, keep listening. If you are not good in listening, keep watching. If you're not good in that, keep attending different events so that you're able to keep in touch with what is happening around you and around what you are doing.
I totally agree with you. And my next question is that are there any training or resources such as coaching to help you be better? You had mentors, you said, and you are a mentor yourself. And or is it just a lot of practice which takes to be a great leader?
For me, I like being frank. I'm not good in trading, and since I said, just as I said, if I'm not good in reading, I'll make sure I'm good in watching. And for me, it's as much as we an enabler, we have built a very good knowledge base with different kind of programs and content. For me, I still value attending different sessions and different events like justice, or even the kind of events that you people organize, just to get to understand what other people are thinking about, what other people are doing. And I try and make sure that if I have a chance, I'll be able to attend various sessions, even if they're just from people who are lower than me in different regions, just to be able to understand and get to know what other people are doing. And for me, that's how I get to learn very easily.
And since you are a mentor, how are these resources made available to the broad leadership team within the ecosystem?
Yeah. So for me as a mentor, and also through the organization that we lead, we have a whole database of mentors and experts. And what we do, everything is available for us. One, if you're our member, it's free to be our member uh, as a member of Mount Kenya Hub or the association. But apart from that is through other different programs that we lead, whether it's a Diamond Challenge for high schoolers, whether it's the Kenya Innovation Week. So mainly, and for us here, we have a lot of programs. And after each and every program, we are able to be matched with different mentors and experts. And for me, since we have a database that keep growing each and every day, we try and make sure that you are linked up with somebody who you can mentor. And apart from that, if you're an innovator or an entrepreneur, or even somebody who is trying to make it in this ecosystem, you are linked up with a mentor who is sharing a vision and who you can relate with.
That's amazing. I think a lot of our listeners would be interested in joining, since you said it's free for your members. And we also, we were discussing about the pandemic, and we all saw what the pandemic has done to businesses globally. What have you learned from leading in this crisis?
Nothing is permanent, and but the major thing is everybody can change, including governments, including everybody mainly can change, because this pandemic, when it hit, it has really changed people. Nowadays, I remember people nowadays, even after the pandemic, are still wearing masks. People, even after the pandemic, are still washing their hands uh, after boarding vehicles. People are still washing their hands. People are carrying sanitizers. So for me, this pandemic, it has taught me is that each and everyone can change, including businesses which were saying, no, we cannot automate. Automation is boring. Automation is this and this and this. Organizations that were saying that you cannot work from home, they have even realized that people are even more, are much good and impactful and fruitful when they are working from home than even working from school. So for me, this pandemic, what it has taught me is that uh, there is no permanent status for anything, including nowadays, even in terms, I can be in Kenya and work for any company in India, in the US. So it's, yeah, this life is a dynamic world. You just need to look for your place.
I totally agree with you.
Yes.
And how do you promote diversity, equity, and inclusion in the workplace as a leader?
Um, that's a very tricky question, and for me, diversity is huge. diversity is not about gender. Diversity is about even age. It's about tribe. It's about different regions, whether it's in Africa. And for us, how we treat it is that okay, people have been championing about gender equality and such, which is okay for us, including the kind of programs that we are running. We just finished a program on women in agriculture. So we just to make sure that in terms of gender, each and every gender has equal opportunities to access our programs and also our knowledge hub and also our opportunities. But for me, how we treat that is making sure that each and every innovation or entrepreneur in each and every business or venture that he or she is coming up with meets a lot of different criteria in terms of gender, tribe, and it's mainly championing and having a mindset whereby you are building a platform that can be utilized by anyone, anywhere, no matter whether somebody is blind, whether somebody has a deformity. When you are starting, when you are designing a platform, you're just making sure that you get everything covered, that you're not developing a solution to be implemented by somebody the same as you. Yeah. So even if you are women, it's not all about building solutions for women. It's about building an all-inclusive solution. Because I also see a danger whereby since we are all impacting women and looking for women, that next time we now start having a lot of foundations that are looking at uplifting the men as well. So yeah, it's just building an all-inclusive platform and businesses.
Great, that way, that's a great way to look at it. And we had a very interesting conversation. Before we close, what would you like to advise the entrepreneurs who are dreaming to be successful in the global market?
For me, what I'll say is you just need to be competitive. You are not entitled to be successful. You don't have any entitlement. You just need to work hard. And you are not the only genius. That's something that I keep saying. If today you think about building a tax selling app, you're not the only one. Just go and Google in any platform. You'll get over a billion responses, which means you're not the only one who is thinking about the same. And the other thing is, you don't need to fear about failing. Yeah, you fail, you keep trying and keep trying. If you keep trying, it means that you have an opportunity to become successful. If you stop, if you give up, your fate is sealed, that you'll never be successful. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was a really interesting and very, very impressive journey you just shared. And as you said, see, we are connected globally, and it has bridged a lot of gaps. And be a universal leader who creates an impact, as you said. And there are a lot of global leaders who are ready to help innovations, right? Support innovations. We should be open-minded while coming to digitization, and it's something which is coming to disrupt. And don't just buy when somebody offers something. Think of your need and invest in technology. And your life and leadership are really, really inspiring. And as you shared, nothing is permanent. Anybody can change. Thank you so much, Mr. Savio, for joining us today and enlightening us with your thoughts and experiences. I'm sure whatever you have shared from your experience would be helpful to many aspiring future leaders to gain new perspectives and climb the success ladder. Looking forward to associating with you in the future as well. Hope you enjoyed the session as much as I did.
Yeah, thank you. I really enjoyed the session, and thank you for contacting me.
Thank you so much. And as you know, we are on a huge mission, a mission to impact the lives of 100 million entrepreneurs. We would like to invite you to join us and be part of this game-changing mission, Impact Mission 2030. Our aim is to build a global community of great leaders from now 190 plus countries by 2030. And to our audience, you can mail us at contact@gcpat.us or find us on all social media platforms as GCPAT Global. Join us as we come back with another emerging leader to inspire us and share us their perspective. Till then, this is Aparna G. Kumar signing off. Take care. Bye-bye. Have a great day. And thank you once again, Mr. Savio, for joining us today.
Thank you.